Week 15 should be the second round of your playoffs. Hopefully you're still in it. If you're watching this, you probably are, so congrats. Or if you're not in it and you're still watching anyway, it's because you love some Nameco and you tolerate some Dustin.
Tolerate, I like that.
Of course you do.
Thank you to our sponsor, fanfootball.ninja. Check them out. Link is in the description. They're working on some new cool things. A better game center, which is kind of the hub for all of your fantasy teams across all the platforms like CBS Sports, Yahoo, all that fun stuff. And they're also working on cool things like notifications, like when big names get dropped in any of your leagues. And if you sign up now before the end of this season, you get free access to that for next year.
Ooh,
So
I actually did not know that.
Fanfootball.ninja.
If I've already signed up, do I have access?
You have access
For next year?
for next year.
Sweet!
Let's talk quarterback.
All right, let's talk quarterbacks. Obviously, I got to highlight number 7 here, Mr. Aaron Rodgers. What to do with him? We had a tough time even ranking him, like where to rank him, what are we doing? So obviously he has to play, and it looks like he's practicing this week, so it looks like he's going to play. And, you know, we put him right here at number 7. So the guys we have above him have been pretty good, and we feel safe about. The guys under him, it's like, well, the upside that you get with Rodgers. However, if you want to bump him even over like a Cam Newton or anything like that, even maybe a Drew Brees, I am okay with that. He is still Aaron Rodgers, but obviously there is some risk there. He takes a big hit, maybe they pull him out. Who knows? But when he was playing, he was averaging close to 19 points a game. And I think Aaron's going to be Aaron, so I think he's going to be pretty solid this week. So hopefully he's not on your wire. If you have somebody under him and he is on your wire, scoop him and make sure you play him.
Yeah, it's a tough call this week, but you got to be excited.
I picked him up and started him over Goff in one league.
I'm doing the same thing. Jimmy Garoppolo's next at 14. This is a guy a lot of people are getting excited about, and he has looked good.
Nameco likes.
The guy has looked good, and he's been throwing for a decent amount of yards. He hasn't been rushing for as many yards as I was thinking he was going to. I was thinking he's going to throw in at least maybe 20 or 30 a game, but either way, the issue with him is he hasn't been finding the end zone much. That might change this week against Tennessee. We have him at 14. We think that's where he should be. I mean, be excited, but not too excited at this point with Jimmy. And if you got questions, post them in this video. Like we've been saying all year, we've been doing a good job getting to all of them. You know, sometimes we have a hard time getting to the Thursday night questions, but we get all of them to the Sunday night, or during the Sunday games. Post them in this video, and we will answer.
And after you post, I would like you to note who should Nameco start, Winston or Jimmy G. Put that in there.
That's tough.
I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do right now. All right, as we move over to running backs, I'm talking about a guy we haven't talked about all year because he's ranked so high every week, but he needs some love, and that is Le'Veon Bell. Thank you, Le'Veon Bell. Got you in 3 leagues. You've been an absolute beast. 35 points, 27 points, 23 points the last couple weeks. He's just been absolutely amazing. And a little side note, he's leading the league in rushing. Brown is leading the league in receiving, and Big Ben is leading the league in guess what?
Passing.
Duh. Took you long enough. Passing, which might be the first time I think that happened in ages. I just think that's a kind of a fun little fact for you there, Dustin.
So Brent, thanks for that sound advice. If you own Le'Veon Bell, you should start him.
Well,
at number 14,
man,
I'm going to talk about
throw a fun fact in there and everything.
Jamal Williams. I mean, at this point, you can just throw Jones to the side. You don't have to worry about Jones anymore. You don't really have to worry about Ty Montgomery anymore. Jamal Williams is the guy out there. The only thing you have to worry about now is, will the atmosphere change now that Rodgers is back? Are they going to pass more? What's going to happen with that? But we have Jamal Williams at 14, solid RB2. It's still a little scary just because you don't know what's going to happen with Rodgers coming back, but you have to be at least confident in the fact that he's going to be the one out on the field.
Next guy I want to talk about is Kerwin Williams of the Arizona Cardinals. Peterson's not going to play. They're playing the Redskins, who, based on the game against the Chargers, look like they've given up for the year, so that's good for Williams. And I don't expect huge things out of him, but he's just getting the volume, he's getting the touches. He's a good flex play this week if you're not looking, you know, I don't know how high his ceiling is, but 20 touches last week, 20 carries, 16 the week prior to that. The Nameco prediction is 85 yards, 1 target, 1 catch for 6. And 0.5 touchdowns. So I'm saying that's a coin flip.
0.5.
0.5. Coin flip.
I like that. Number 33, Theo Riddick. I want to talk about monster game week 14. But Amir Abdullah looks like he's coming back. But Abdullah hasn't really been that good. Are they really going to go all the way back to him? I still think in PPR leagues, Theo is still a decent play this week. going up against Chicago, not the best matchup in the world, but you know, it's more the passing stats that you're going to get from Theo that can excite you. So we think PPR leagues, Theo Riddick is still worthy of considering him as a flex option. We're not sold that Abdullah is going to come back and get a ton of touches. And before we get into wide receivers, check out our FanDuel game, links in the description if you haven't been playing in that. We're all in there, it's a lot of fun, but FanDuel's also running something this week where they're running a game for research for lupus, the Lupus Research Alliance. If you play in this game, they donate your entry to that charity, and the winner of that game wins tickets to the Super Bowl. So you get to help some a foundation out, and you get a chance for Super Bowl tickets. The link to that game is in the description as well, so check that out.
Good for you, FanDuel.
Good calls. Give them a heads up.
And I am going to become more aware and Google whatever lupus is, because I don't have a clue, to be perfectly frank. I know, you know,
it's not good.
It's not good, but
yeah.
Good for FanDuel. I like that. Wide receivers, number 12. I want to talk about Josh Gordon. The thing about Gordon is, you know, people are like, oh, should we pick him up or not, or why would we even waste it? Obviously, it's kind of worked out. He's been playing fairly well. Last 2 games, he's had a total of 17 targets, where I'm a little bit nervous. Out of the 17 targets, he's only had seven catches, and he's been averaging about 80 yards a game. He's had 1 touchdown in that time frame. So while he's not a lock wide receiver 1 for us, we do have him primed in that wide receiver 2. The upside is still there for him, but if you want to go with a safer option, I am okay with that. So what I'm basically saying is he's not a slam dunk. He's making most of our lineups, but he isn't a slam dunk for that reason.
And you said 12, but he's 17, but it's close enough. We have him at 17.
I'm dyslexic, you know that. I flip numbers. Thanks for proving, you know, way to be insensitive.
Yeah, that's what I do.
I know.
Mike Evans at number 20. This is a guy, probably the biggest disappointment this year, right up there with kind of Amari Cooper in terms of receivers that win early, that just haven't produced.
Bigger.
What?
He was a first rounder.
Amari Cooper was up there too.
Who's more of a disappointment? Leave the comment. Mike Evans
well,
or
at least
Amari
Mike
Cooper?
Evans is still playing. I mean,
who's more of a disappointment?
They're both big disappointments.
I just want to know who's more of a disappointment in the comments, please.
Fine. They're both up there. Matchup against Atlanta. It'll be interesting to see, but you know, there was a stretch there where we were like, this is the week. This is the week. This is the week. And I don't even want to get on that bandwagon anymore. It's just, that offense has just not looked great. We got him at number 20. He's still a low-end wide receiver 2, but he's just not the wide receiver 1 that you drafted him at.
All right. I'm not even going to go over his number. Mohamed Sanu is the next guy I'm highlighting. The man, the boss, the CEO, the president, everything loves him some Sanu this week. So he was like, Brett, you have to talk about Sanu because I love Sanu. So why does he love Sanu? You know, last week he had 8 targets, 6 receptions, 83 yards, and a touchdown. So that's good. So why does Dustin love him? It's because of the matchup. Tampa Bay is terrible against
They're so bad.
So bad. So he could go off, Julio could go off, but he's that kind of boom or bust play that if you're in a matchup where you think, ooh, I need to kind of shoot for the stars, he could have a monster week this week.
But I don't really think he's a boom or bust. I think
not boom bust. He's safe with a high ceiling.
Right.
He's a very high ceiling.
Safe with a high ceiling. I think
I'm having an off day, eh? You know,
fairly
just
high
correcting me
floor.
left and right.
That's what I do too.
Yeah, it is what you do.
Cooper Kupp at number 35. You know I love me some Cooper Kupp, but I also...
Hold on.
What?
Cooper.
But I also love me some Robert Woods, and he is coming back this week. And this isn't going to kill Kupp's value. He could still have a good game. He could still find the end zone. But obviously it does hurt his value because there's less targets to go around. Robert Woods was trending as being, you know, a high upside RB2 before he got injured. We'd have him higher on this list if there wasn't those injury concerns. But just because of Woods coming back, you can't get super excited about Kupp, but he did have a monster game week 14, so we'll see how he does this week. But Woods coming back just makes him a little scared.
Can I move into tight ends now, boss?
Go right in, tight ends.
Thank you. I just want to make sure I don't get yelled at again. Evan Ingram I would like to talk about. I know I talk about him quite a bit, but the studs are obviously starting Gronk, starting Kelsey. Evan Ingram to me is a guy that, you know, he hasn't put up monster numbers, but again, I want to go over those targets, 7, 8, 7, 6. But with those targets, he's had 54 yards, 99 yards, which you're happy, 18 yards and 9 yards. So he has been a little bit more hit or miss, but if I have Evan Ingram, you know, I'm not scouring the wire to replace him or find another option. I think he's still with those targets and what they actually have at receiver and pass captain option. I think he's got to be in a lot of lineups this week.
At 13, Eric Ebron, a guy.
My goodness.
He had 11 targets
My
last week.
goodness.
They're finally starting to target him. You know, he's had some issues. He's had some drop issues, and you know, he got to the point to where the crowd, the Lions were cheering every time he caught the ball just because they were so used to him dropping them. But you got to think the talent's still there. He's starting to get the targets. He could finish strong, but we got him outside of the top 10 for a reason. We got him at 13, but he's still an interesting guy that you could maybe even pick up off the wire if he's available. Could help you out to maybe get into those finals.
All right, as we go defense, you know I'm going to be talking about my boys. We're going to be talking about that Minnesota Viking defense. I don't know why, but I'm not even a Vikings fan. But for some reason, I love their defense, so I'm happy to see that we have got them inside our top 3. And let's just go to Vegas to find out why. The over-under on this game is 42. The Vikings are favored over the Bengals by 11 points. They believe the final score is going to be like 27 to 16. Vikings win. Not a lot of points, obviously, for Cincy. I think they can get some turnovers. Another team that looked like they quit last week was Cincinnati. Marvin Lewis, I'm sorry, buddy. Job's over. I think you lost the players, and when you lose the players, that's good things for the fans. Defense is playing them.
Number 6, we got the Saints going up against the Josh McCownless Jets. Vegas has that one at 47 with the Saints favored by 16.
Whoa!
Not giving much love to the Jets in this one. You got to think the Saints are going to have some success this week. So that's week 15. Like we said, if you got questions, post them in this video.
Boom!
Subscribe, give us a thumbs up.
Hopefully you're in. If you're in, let us know. We'd love to see the community doing well. I want to see if you get the W's, and especially when you win the championships, we want to know about it. Dustin, pen flip me.